What's up, guys? Before this video actually starts, I kind of wanted to just give an explanation on why I haven't posted in so long. And the truth is, I've had a lot of ups and downs over the past year. Getting to this point has been very difficult, but it's good. There's a lot of good change happening coming soon to the channel. At the time of uploading the last video, that video is right after the death of my dog, Toby. You remember him as Technician Toby. It was really sudden and unexpected, and that really broke me down there for a little while, you know? So, and then my dad passed away too. So it was kind of a hard time to film, to find the motivation to film, to actually get content out, because you know, I'm all alone. You know, I don't have any friends to help me really with the channel and film. With all the bad stuff that's happened, there has been really good things that came out of it. For one, and the best thing is I have a daughter and she's almost 2. So she makes my life amazing. So my daughter's a little gearhead, so she loves cars. She gets into the Mustang and like plays in there, plays around the roll cage, and she'll even take naps in there. That, and I don't have my old shop anymore. It's not a bad thing. The area that I was in was really bad. It was getting dangerous to live in, and I was worried about getting my shop broken into and stuff getting stolen. So I moved to an area that is going to be very, very good for the channel, because not only are there drag strips all over the place, there's a massive car community here, and there's a lot of people that can collaborate, and lots of friends that are into the car culture scene and have their own builds and stuff like that. So I think moving forward, the channel is going to go through a very good step to getting to where I can upload content constantly, because with trying to balance work and then being a dad with filming and doing all this, it's kind of difficult to find the time. A lot of the updates will come as we get into the future of the channel. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video, and I'm sorry for that. It's just been really hard to get to this point now. That being said, so this video you're about to see was filmed a long time ago, and the reason I didn't upload it is because I really didn't want to post a video where we weren't driving this, because this is what y'all really care about. I have a plan. We only have a little bit more stuff to do before we can actually take it to like car meets and do fun stuff with it. Since it's been so long since I've uploaded, I'm just gonna go ahead and upload what I have and give y'all something that y'all can watch. Getting where I want to be, where it's like completely finished, is still gonna take a while, but as far as driving it, we're really close. We just gotta figure out power steering. That's the main thing that I need. So I have a solution, and in the next video, I think I'm gonna go over that. We're gonna get that done. Without further ado, here's the video that I'm showing to you. I hope y'all enjoy. I'm sorry, I really wanted to drive this video, but it's not gonna happen, especially because it's winter. I'm not running this when it's 17 degrees outside. The engine's barely broken in, so you know, once it warms up a little bit, I can tow her to a location that we can actually start it, run it, drive it around, do a little bit, because we can drive it right now. It's just a pain in the ass since there's no power steering. Thank you all so much for your support. I really, 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 really appreciate it. And I apologize for the late video. My goal is to get to doing this full time. I just know it's gonna take me uploading a lot more and consistently to get to that point. But with y'all's support, I mean, it makes me want to do it. Not just so I can do this for a living. I just like sharing what I build and stuff like that. And thank y'all. Here's the video. I'm sorry, it's not what I wanted it to be, but it's something. It's time to finish it up and drive it. Coolant system. Alright, okay, all we got left to do is finish the coolant system. We've got a little bit of things left and we're driving this thing. In the last episode, we got the thing started for the first time in almost 2 years. Now, all we gotta do is hook up the radiator to the engine and then we get to take it for a drive. I wanna hear the wordly boys spool up. Let's get right into the build. Let's freaking do this. Alrighty then, here we are. She's pretty, isn't she? Yeah, I know. We have a coolant line. We're gonna go from there and hopefully try to go all the way down to the corner right here. I'm not sure exactly what's all gonna fit. One of the things I did think about doing was having the coolant line go all the way around to the opposite side, and then we just have one coolant pipe on either side. I don't know. Anything that is gonna be close to the exhaust, we're gonna wrap with some type of thermal insulator. Literally, once we get the coolant system hooked up, that's it. Let's go ahead and look around the vehicle. Wow! So here's the plan. I've got one pipe temporarily set up. The other pipe I have on this side, just because I have no idea where I'm gonna put it. The pipe goes all the way down to the transfer case. It's hard to put this in here because the transfer case is so big. If we did want to go straight two-wheel drive, I'd have to pull the transfer case off, and then I have a housing for a two-wheel drive setup in the shaft, but you gotta pull the transmission apart and then replace the output shaft with the two-wheel drive one, and either find a two-wheel drive truck and take the drive shaft from that, or get a custom built drive shaft. That's a future thing that we'll do. So I've got 4 foot of this pipe. It's a stainless flexible pipe. This is what I'm gonna use to route the coolant system from the front to the back. I'm gonna put this in like that, and it's gonna go right through the bottom right there, and then right into the rubber gasket. There is a piece that goes around this. It comes with these, but for some reason I thought it was 1.5 inches as far as inner diameter, so I really can't slip this on there unless I cut the bead off of the water neck. That's what we gotta do, and that'll work. That'll totally work. I've had this for over a year now, and I never got the chance to use it because never gotten to this point. I have couplers. These are 1.75 couplers, and first off, we're gonna drill a hole into the bed. From underneath, we'll go ahead and start cutting pipe up, and then using these 90s to direct the pipe. Kind of one goes directly up to here, and then we just connect it to here, and then we do the same but going towards the other side at the bottom. I think this will work. I think we won't have any problems getting this to work. Okay, this side goes all the way down to the pipe down here that meets down there, and then I've got it piped up to the radiator, and then down to that piece right there, and then that pipe goes. This is temporary. I'm gonna put a stronger bracket to hold that. Then it goes in 90s up, and that's where it connects. This should work. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here or somewhere around here, and then 90 up, and then 90 across, and then I'll put like a 90 either going up or something like that, and then just pipe the bottom piece right in. Everything's connected now from this side all the way across, and then all the way to the motor. I'm gonna go ahead and add some water, make sure nothing leaks. Should be able to fire this up and like keep it running and monitor the temperatures. So I'm gonna add some water and see what happens. Just put 5 gallons in it. It's probably gonna need a lot more. I'm just bleeding through the system. And once we get to the point where everything's full, but there's an air bubble, then I'm just going to, start it and try to cycle the water through. And right now I'm cracking this line right here to actually bleed the air out of the block. Once water starts pouring out of here, then I know we've got most of the air out. I've added like freaking 5 gallons of water. It's gonna need a lot of water in the system. It looks like it's nearly full. I've got water in here sitting, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and start it, and then we'll check it, and hopefully we'll get some more bubbles out. Okay, everything seems to be working good. I've got the fans, all the fans wired. I've got both these fans here and then the trans-cooler fan underneath. Yeah, she's blowing some air. It's working. Everything's working. Everything's working. Guess what? Once I finish some welds, I just got a little bit of welding to do on the exhaust side. Once that's done, then I'm literally gonna drive this thing out of here. I'm gonna pull it out and we're gonna wash it. We're gonna give her a nice old washing. I wiped this down because it was like this. Ooh, that's pollen. We really can't rip on it right now until we tune it. That's gonna have to wait. We're gonna go ahead and take all this off. We're going to pull the turbos off, pull the exhaust off, and then weld up everything. And once that's all welded up, then we can fire her up and move her out of the shop. So I got the exhaust all welded up. My welder actually took a dump right after this side. Thankfully, my brother had a welder and he let me use it, and I'm glad he did because it looks so much cleaner on this side compared to this side. It's okay, I know you're mad at the fact that we just welded on stainless and it doesn't look that great. Don't worry, this is only temporary. Once we get new turbos with the smaller exhaust housing, then we're gonna actually reduce this to 3-inch instead of 3.5-inch. That way we'll have more clearance and it'll actually, we can route it the way we really want to route it. So remember, this is just to get this thing running for now because I miss her. I miss her very badly. All right. I am gonna take the brake off. And I am putting it in reverse. Oh man, I don't have power steering. I'm driving it. It's outside. Oh god, this is hard to do without power steering. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm gonna put this down. I haven't driven it yet. I could have driven it maybe a couple days ago. I'm having a problem with my fuel system for some reason. Before, on the last setup, I had no problem making 50 to 60 PSI, and the fuel pump's fine, and so is the regulator. For some reason, it's going from like 20 to 35 PSI. I mean, it's not on an isolated circuit, so I might just wire up its own separate switch to the actual pump, and then we'll see what it does from there, because I really like to run it, you know, between 50 and 60 PSI. Another thing though, the power steering is gone, right? This thing is hard to drive. Like, just driving, you know, down my driveway, there's little potholes and the steering wheel will freaking pull this way or pull that way real hard. I was planning on replacing the rack and pinion with an electronic rack and pinion, like what's on my EcoBoost, because, you know, there's no power steering pump or anything. It's just an electronic rack and pinion. I think I have to have a computer for it to get it to actually work or function, so we'll figure that out. But end of the video update. I figured out the fuel problem. I show you what goes on. I stuck a relay here, and you know, it's gonna look better once I actually clean it up, mount everything, because everything's just hanging because I was testing it to make sure that was the problem. So basically now the fuel pump is completely isolated. So it's got a switch in the cab that I turn on, and it turns on the fuel pump, and it's constant pressure, constant voltage. That's awesome, because that means our pressure regulator is doing its job constantly and keeping that specific PSI. As far as power steering goes, I actually have a solution that I think is gonna work. In the next video, we're gonna go over that and actually see about getting power steering back, because if we can get power steering back and finish the hood support, then we should be able to go and take it for a drive. I live in a neighborhood now, so sometimes it's hard to start the cars, especially that one. That one's louder than anything, so I don't want to start that. I also have a video coming for this soon. I've actually been working on a video for a long time now, but I couldn't afford a part that I need for it. So soon we'll have this go up and going, because I want to drag race this season. Stay tuned for that. I think we're on the right track. and we are so close to being able to actually run this thing, drive it. It runs great. It runs amazing, like so good. Driving is a little different, especially because of the no power steering thing. So I'm sorry it took so long to upload. I didn't want to upload this video without me driving it, but in the situation I'm in right now, it's kind of difficult to drive it. I just didn't want to let y'all down by not driving it, because I know we've been building it. We're on episode 11 now, and we still have yet to drive it. Yeah, at least version 2 we haven't driven it. So stay tuned. I promise I'm going to start trying to upload more consistently, and if y'all show y'all support, like, share, or comment, let me know what y'all think about all the progress and everything that's been going on. I really do this for y'all because nobody's ever done this before on this truck and on this engine. So I really just want to share it because this is freaking cool. If I blow up the engine, will I have another one that I'm going to completely rebuild and put better internals in and all of the good stuff we did to this engine, but more? We're going to try to push this engine to its absolute limits. And if we can't get to that set point of 1,500 or more horsepower, then we have other plans for this thing. This is not the end. If you're still watching this, thank y'all so much. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't drive it, but good things take time. Thanks everyone. Keep on boosting the world.